Happy Thursday. If you are in the West Coast region of the US, you might be experiencing some rain right now. So we have some rain outdoors. So that's why I'm doing my class today inside. But it's nice because it's nice and warm indoors. Outside, it gets a little chilly. All right, everyone. So we're going to start off with some hip and spine drills. So we are going to be in a standing position. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and get ourselves set up, standing nice and tall. So the first one we're going to do, you're going to notice it's going to be similar patterns from all the exercises. We'll start off with an easier one to start. This one is a windmill. So how this one works is my feet are about shoulder width apart or so. With one arm down, this arm is up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend at my hip, trying to keep my legs somewhat straight. And as I rotate, I think about reaching down to the floor with this hand here, and this arm stays up. And then I'm going to slowly stand to that top position. Notice this top arm stays up the entire time. And we're just going to repeat that slowly for one side. So I'll go ahead and show you from the side here. So one arm down, one arm up. When you're ready, you're going to, first of all, bend at your hip and then slowly reach down. Once again, this arm stays down, this arm stays up. And once I go as far as my body allows, I come up, but I'm still keeping that arm above me. Nice and slow. Now you do not have to touch the floor on this one here, by the way. The goal is to hinge at your hip, keeping that back flat. I like to keep my eyes at that top hand. You'll notice that a natural rotation occurs into your shoulders, into the hips and spine. Taking it nice and slow. Let's try that one more time. And recover. Nice work, everyone. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the other side. So this arm now, the opposite one is going to stay down here. This arm up. Once again, my feet are about shoulder width apart to start. Once I bend at that hip joint, I'm just going to slowly reach down. That natural rotation occurs into the spine and that shoulder. And repeat. Keeping my eyesight up top. Taking deep breaths in and out. Let's do that one more time, and then I'll give us a little break before we get into the next one. Hips back, reaching for the sky, and recover. Nice work, everyone. All right. So coming up next, our hip opener drill. Now this one I do a lot in my classes, and we're going to focus on it today. What we're trying to hit are the hips, the ankles, and even the spine. So how this one works here, my feet are same. They're about shoulder width apart or so. Toes are going to be slightly pointed out. I'm going to reach and grab either my shins, my ankles, or my feet here. And let's just go ahead and hang out in this position for a second. So with my feet flat on the floor, what's going to happen is I'm going to squat down and I'm going to pull onto the shins, the ankles, or the feet. So it looks like this. I squat and I'm still holding on to, once again, my shin, the ankles, or the toes. And my arms are inside the knees, by the way. That helps keeps the hip open. Now from here, I'm going to go back to the start position, but keep your arms straight. And then we're going to repeat nice and slow. So when you're ready, hips down. I'll get the hips back up. And let's repeat nice and slow. When I'm at the top position, I see how straight I can get my legs. When I am at the bottom position, I really want to make sure that my feet stay flat. So I want to keep that weight in the middle to heel. If you are coming onto your toes, you can widen your stance a little bit more or not go as low for now. You really just want to keep those feet planted down onto the floor. Nice work. Straighten the legs and catch your breath. Good job. So that was the first variation. The second variation we're going to do is where you're still in that bottom squat position, but we're going to add a rotation right now. So you know what the first step looks like. Grabbing onto the shins, ankles, or feet, and you're squatting down here. When you're here with one arm, you're going to try and reach for the sky just like this. You'll come back down to the center, and then you'll switch over to that opposite side, switching as you go. So when you're ready, first step, you're gonna grab shins, ankles, or toes. And we're gonna hold here, getting a nice stretch into the hamstrings. From here, we're gonna go ahead and get into that second position. This is where you squat down and you hold. Then last, let's try that rotation. So I'm staying in a squat position, I'm reaching, back to the middle, switch sides, and repeat nice and slow. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Let's do that one more time per side, keep breathing. Might be getting a little workout today in mobility. And recover. Whew. Nice job, everyone, and shake it off. So that was our hip opener drill. It's actually a nice little workout and pretty much gets everything from the spine to the hips and into the ankles. Next up, we have our lateral lunge drill today. So for this one here, we're gonna be targeting the same thing, the hips, but we're gonna be working on the lateral positions for this one here. So whereas a hip opener, we're working in more of a sagittal plane here, we're now gonna be working a little bit more lateral. So feet are gonna be outside of shoulder width, and I'm gonna point my toes out a little bit on this one. Now to start, you can keep your hands on the hip. We're really trying to focus on that hip hinge. So I'm gonna crease at the hip right here. Right now my legs are straight. I'm gonna choose one side, and how this works is I'm gonna sink into my hips. As I lunge, I hold. Your weight's gonna be on the heel to midfoot of this side. This leg is gonna be straight. I'll go back to the center. I'll slowly switch. We'll hold here. So think of this as the warm-up, just trying to get the position down. Weight is on heel to midfoot. This leg is gonna be straight. And back down. So we're now gonna practice a little bit of mobility in these positions here. So if you like that position, you can keep your legs there. If you like to get a little bit wider stance, you can. Let's go ahead and go back to the other side. So hip back, lunge. And what I want you to try and do is you can keep this arm here, or you can even try to reach for the floor. So this would be the second progression. So first progression, just keep it on the leg. Second, we're just sinking into the hip. And relax, nice work. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Hip back, first progression, you're gonna keep this elbow here. Second, reach for the floor and sink into the hip. Back to the middle. Let's do that one more time on each side. Hip back, first progression here. And then we're seeing how low we can go while we can keep this leg straight and that foot flat onto the floor. Back to the middle. Last chance, here we go. Once again, here, just try to get low. You can also place this hand here. Reach for the floor. And recover. Nice work, everyone. Awesome. All right, for these last two, we're gonna be using a chair here. So we got a nice little standing variation. First one's for the hip, second one's for the spine. Let's see how we're doing. Awesome. All right, so this is our seated hip stretch here. I do this one all the time whenever I have energy breaks. So in between like meetings or anything like that for members, this is one that a lot of people are sitting down while they're in the meeting. So it's a good way to kind of finish it off. Ankle is gonna be on top of the knee right here. This stretch is gonna be focusing on the glutes and even into the lower back here. So right now we're just trying to get that ankle on top of the knee. A couple things here, we wanna stay upright. So if you are against the seat, try to move yourself forward at the edge of your seat. Lastly, if our knee is at an angle like this, shin, first step that you would try and do is see if we can get this shin almost parallel to the floor. But listen to your body. If you do notice that anything is starting to hurt or just feels really high level discomfort, try to stay away from that. Just go to where we're feeling, once again, these muscles, feeling a stretch. So for me, I like to keep this hand here. I'll grab my leg under here and I'll just keep my torso upright. And then while I'm here, the last progression, of course, if this is already a stretch, you're already feeling the challenge here, stay right here and just breathe. The next thing I like to do is as I'm applying weight here, I'll just shift my torso forward. I'll slowly back off and then I'll repeat nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale if you need a little bit more. I place the hand onto the leg and I push and breathe. just a little bit. I go as far as I can. Don't want to hurt myself. Do that one more time. Nice work, everyone. Go ahead and switch sides. So you're going to get that other ankle on top of that knee here. Same thing, you want to sit at the edge of your chair. So if you notice that you're at the back, go ahead and move yourself a little forward. Place that ankle here. This is at an angle right now. So the first step you can do is just apply a little bit of weight to where we get the shin parallel to the floor. And then while I'm here, once again, I'm keeping my torso upright. Last progression, where you're doing that little swaying motion forward and back. So inhale. As I reach forward, exhale. You can apply a little bit of pressure if you want with that hand right here. Let's do that one more time, and we'll finish off with our spine and recover. Nice work, everyone. Last one here, you're still going to use your chair. If you don't have a chair, you can still use a couch, or if you have a table nearby, you can use that too. For this one here, when you set up your chair, you're going to get your hands right on top. Think about shoulder width apart or so. Keeping the arms straight, I'm going to push my hips back, and as I do so, I'm going to push my chest down towards the floor, and I'm going to hold this position right here. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and give it a shot. Arms are about shoulder width apart. Push the hips back. And really think about pushing your chest down towards the floor. Taking deep breaths in and out. So here we're just holding. If you like to do more dynamic motions, you can bring your chest up and then back down. Taking deep breaths in. Let's hold for another 5 seconds here. Pushing those hips back, a big breath in. Exhale. And slowly come up when you're ready. Whew. Nice job, everyone. That was for the spine using our chair for that last one. And then just to finish up, we do have an extra minute here. Let's just go ahead and just finish off with some seated shoulder shrugs here. So sitting upright at the edge of your chair, we're just going to do some nice shoulder circles in one direction. I like to keep my head relaxing down. Think of nice and slow, creating a larger circle as you go. Slowly relax and switch directions. And then lastly, bring those shoulders down and back. Just take a deep breath in. Slow exhale. And shake it off. Great job today, everyone. That was mobility for the day. Thanks for joining. And a reminder for our Healthy Eats program that starts on the 25th. The registration links have been left in the chat for today. So thanks for joining. We'll see you at the next class. All right. Great job, Christy. Great job, Claire.